Have you ever felt a pain in your soul that you can't explain? A weight that crushes you, yet somehow lifts you higher? If you are one of the chosen, this is no coincidence. There are people who walk through life untouched by the storms of the Spirit. And then, there are the chosen ones, the ones who carry an invisible burden, a deep spiritual pain that sets them apart. This pain is not random. It is not meaningless. It is a sign, a process, a transformation. Throughout history, those marked by a divine purpose have walked a path of suffering. But why? Why does a higher calling come with such intense pain? In the next 15 minutes, you will discover the 5 reasons why the chosen experience spiritual pain, and how this pain is shaping your destiny. What if your suffering is not a punishment, but a preparation? Let's begin. Chapter 1, Reason number 1, Pain purifies the soul. Fire does not destroy gold, it refines it. And the chosen are no different. If you have been called for something greater, you will be tested. Not by comfort, but by suffering. Pain is the fire that burns away everything that does not belong to you, false identities, shallow attachments, illusions of control. It is in the fire of suffering that the soul is purified and made ready for its true purpose. Job was a man who walked blamelessly before God. Yet, he lost everything: his wealth, his children, his health. His friends accused him, his wife told him to curse God and die. But through it all, he remained steadfast. In the end, Job was not just restored, he was transformed. His suffering had stripped him of everything except his faith, making him more than he was before. But he knows the way that I take, when he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job 23 verse 10. But this purification is not just for the past, it is happening now, within you. Perhaps you have faced losses that felt unbearable. Perhaps you have questioned why, despite your efforts to do what is right, you are the one who suffers the most. The answer is simple: you are being refined. The weight you carry is not a curse. It is evidence that you are being shaped for something greater. Because here is the truth: suffering is not meaningless. It is the mark of the chosen. Pain is not proof of your weakness. It is proof that you are being prepared. But prepared for what? Why do the chosen suffer before they step into their destiny? There is something you need to understand: without pain, you would never be ready for the mission ahead. In the next chapter, you'll discover why every trial you've faced is training you for the purpose you were born to fulfill. Don't miss this. Chapter 2, Reason number 2, Pain prepares you for your mission. Before a warrior steps onto the battlefield, he must be trained. Before a leader carries the weight of a nation, he must be tested. And before the chosen fulfill their purpose, they must endure the fire of preparation. No one steps into their destiny unprepared. The weight of a great calling demands great strength, and strength is only built through struggle. If you feel like life has broken you again and again, it is not because you are forgotten. It is because you are being forged. Joseph was given a divine dream as a young man, visions of leadership, of greatness. But before that dream became reality, he was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, and imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. For years, it seemed as though his life was moving further away from his destiny. But in reality, he was being prepared. Until the time came to fulfill his dreams, the Lord tested Joseph's character. Psalm 105 verse 19. And when the time was right, Joseph was lifted from the depths of prison to stand before Pharaoh and rule over Egypt. The suffering he endured did not destroy him, it built him. Look at your own life. The betrayals, the setbacks, the moments when you felt abandoned, what if they were not signs of your failure, but signs of your preparation? What if every tear, every hardship, every closed door was strengthening you for what is coming next? The mission is heavy. That is why the training is hard. But pain does more than just prepare you, it also connects you. And if you've ever wondered why your suffering feels so deep, so personal, and yet, so universal, you need to hear what comes next. In the next chapter, we will uncover the reason why your pain is not just about you, but about your connection to the world around you. Stay with me. Chapter 3, Reason number 3, Pain connects you to universal suffering. Pain isolates, but it also unites. The suffering you carry is not just yours, it is a bridge to the suffering of others. When you endure deep spiritual pain, it is easy to feel alone. To believe that no one understands, that no one sees what you are going through. But what if your pain was never meant to isolate you? What if it was meant to connect you to something greater than yourself? Jesus, the most divine being to walk the earth, did not live untouched by suffering. He wept for Jerusalem. He grieved for those who rejected the truth. And in his final moments, he bore the weight of all human pain on the cross. As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it. Luke 19 verse 41. Why would a man who had the power to heal and save be moved to tears? Because suffering is not just personal, it is collective. The pain of one is the pain of all. Think about the people who have endured the greatest trials, those who have faced loss, injustice, or deep sorrow. They are often the ones who show the most compassion, the ones who reach out to heal others. Your suffering is not a punishment. It is an initiation into a deeper understanding of the human experience. Your pain is not meaningless. It is a key that unlocks the hearts of others. You may have noticed this in your own life. After walking through darkness, you begin to recognize that same darkness in others. You see pain in their eyes. You hear it in their voice. And because you have walked through it yourself, you have the power to lift them up. But there is something else. Pain does not just connect you to others, it awakens something within you. Something powerful. In the next chapter, we will reveal why your suffering is opening your eyes to a spiritual reality that many will never see. Don't miss what comes next. Chapter 4, Reason number 4, Pain awakens spiritual awareness. Some people live their entire lives asleep, blind to the truth, deaf to the whispers of the divine. But suffering wakes you up. There is a reason why the chosen suffer more than others. It is because their pain is not just physical, emotional, or mental, it is spiritual. It is a force that strips away illusions and reveals what is hidden. Paul was a man of power before his transformation. He persecuted those who followed Christ, believing he was doing the right thing. But then, on the road to Damascus, he was struck blind. For 3 days, he sat in total darkness. In those days of suffering, he saw what he had never seen before. And when his sight returned, he was not the same man. Immediately, something like scales fell from Saul's eyes, and he could see again. Acts 9 verse 18. This is what pain does. It peels away the layers of the world's deception. It forces you to question, to seek, to understand. Look at your own journey. The moment pain entered your life, something changed. Maybe you started searching for deeper meaning. Maybe you questioned everything you once believed. Maybe you began to see the world differently, not just as a collection of random events, but as a place where unseen forces are at work. Suffering strips away the temporary and forces you to face what is eternal. Those who have never suffered deeply often remain asleep. They chase distractions, never looking beyond the surface. But those who have been broken, those who have been crushed under the weight of their trials, they see. They hear. They know. This awakening is painful, but it is also a gift. Because once your eyes are open, you can never go back to blindness. You begin to recognize spiritual battles happening around you. You sense things others do not. And you understand that nothing in this world is what it seems. But if pain is a doorway to awakening, then what comes next? What does all of this mean for your destiny? There is one final truth you must understand, perhaps the most important of all. In the next chapter, we will reveal the ultimate reason why you suffer. And once you hear it, you will never see your pain the same way again. Stay with me. Chapter 5, Reason number 5, Pain confirms your divine calling. You don't suffer because you are abandoned. You suffer because you are chosen. Throughout history, those marked by God have walked a path of suffering. Prophets, leaders, visionaries, none of them lived easy lives. They were rejected, betrayed, tested, and broken. But their pain was never a sign of their insignificance. It was the proof of their purpose. Jesus, the ultimate example of divine calling, carried the weight of the world's suffering. On the cross, in his final moments, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27 verse 46. If even he, the Son of God, experienced the depths of suffering, what does that tell us? That pain is not a sign of failure. It is the mark of those who are called for something greater. Look at your own life. The struggles, the battles, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on, they were not random. They were shaping you, molding you into who you were always meant to be. Pain does not destroy the chosen, it reveals them. The enemy does not attack those who are insignificant. The fire does not refine that which is worthless. You have been fought, broken, and tested because your calling is real. And now, you must decide, will you let pain break you, or will you let it crown you? Now you see. Every moment of suffering was not just pain, it was preparation. Every trial was not just a test, it was confirmation. And now, you stand at a crossroads. What will you do with everything you've endured? In the final moments of this journey, I will leave you with one last truth, one that will change the way you see your pain forever. Stay with me until the end. The pain that lifts you. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. Now, you understand. Every tear you shed, every battle you fought, every moment of suffering, it was not meaningless. It was not a curse. It was a calling. Purification. Preparation. Connection. Awakening. Confirmation. This is the journey of the chosen. This is the fire that shapes those destined for something greater. But now, the choice is yours. Will you see your pain as the weight that breaks you, or the force that lifts you? Will you let it silence you, or will you let it refine your voice? Will you carry it as a burden, or wear it as a crown? Your cross is your crown. Endure, chosen one, your light is being born. What pain has marked you? Share your story below. Let your voice be heard. If this message awakened something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, because the journey is not over. More revelations await.